UX design case studies. One thing that designers are super scared of making, but they absolutely need it to apply for every single job. So in this video, I'm mentioning the 7 things that matters the most in a UX design case study. This is not a checklist, but what all you should include in your story, because your story of how you went from the problem to the solution and what path you took to go there matters. Number 1, what was your role in the project? So since UX design is a very collaborative process where all different functions like business, marketing, product, design, all these things come together and build something for the user. And also in the design team, different people might be collaborating on the same project. So I want to understand what is the skill set that you are bringing in the team and in this particular project, so that I can see the project, evaluate the project based on the particular skill set that you have brought on the team. Number 2, I want to understand the team dynamics and who all are in your team. Since UX design is a collaborative process, you could not have designed the product and shipped it on your own. You must have collaborated with other people. And if you have collaborated with other people, there must be conflict involved. So as designers, we need to be very good communicator as well as facilitator, because there are conflicts when multiple functions get involved. They all are trying to optimize it for their particular thing and make the best out of it. So your job as a facilitator becomes that you help everyone come to a single decision that, hey, this is the design we are going forward with, and everyone sort of agree with it. So this should clearly reflect in your case study that, hey, this is what we consider from the marketing side, this is what we consider from the business side, and that will make me understand that, hey, you are a very good team player. You can actually mediate conversations and become a facilitator and help everyone reach to a single decision point. Number 3, what is the problem and how did you validate it? As designers, we often get vague problems and we have to figure out a solution for it, and it can lead us in various different directions, which could be very different from what the user problem actually is. So let's consider you're working in Uber and the management sees that there is a problem. Drivers have to wait too long to for the customers, or the customers are actually have to walk to the driver and it takes them significant amount of time. If you don't think about the problem deeply and don't understand who the user is, where they are facing the problem, you might consider solving it this way that, hey, GPS is the problem, so let's go to a tech team and ask them to get more precise location. But if you talk to the users, if you talk to the stakeholders, you might realize that the problem is actually not with the GPS. It's happening with people who are living in a society where there are multiple exits, or when they are going to a shopping complex, they might be waiting at a different exit point than the driver. And if that's happening, the probability of you solving it with the GPS is very low, and you might end up spending your time working on the wrong problem. But only if you ask these questions to the users who are facing the challenge, the stakeholders who have the right information, or the customer support team, you might be able to figure out why they are facing this problem. So that's how you validate if you are working on the right problem or not. Number 4, what are the design decisions that you have made? So considering the business needs and the user needs, how did these translate into the solution that you have built? If you have considered something, if you have made some hypothesis, if you have made some assumptions, I would really want to understand that. It helps you understand how do you go from a problem to the solution. How do you consider if there is a specific thing that user is facing challenges with, and how do you come up with a solution? So let's consider the Uber example from the last point. How did you show the entry and exit points of the building to the users so that they can make a better decision? If this is clear to me, if this is helping me understand, hey, this person figured out the problem and this is how they make decisions to solve the problem, it is going to really help me. If you took some inspirations, if you did some competitive analysis, if you tried out something new, if you went and talked to the people and really validated it with them, just mention that, because I'm just going to understand it from your point of view of how you saw it as a problem and just went for the solution. Number 5, show iterations. Most designers only show the final design that they have created and completely discard all the intermediate designs or the explorations that they have done. Don't do that. Show explorations. It just tells me that, hey, you have received feedback from the stakeholder, from the customers, and made changes based on that. Showing iterations can help me with 3 things. It can help me understand that, hey, you can look beyond the first solution or the first idea that comes to your mind. Second, it can make me feel comfortable giving you feedback since you look open to feedback. Number 3, it can help you paint the right picture, which is you are willing to explore and learn from all the feedback, all the things that are around you. Number 6, the visual design. Now that we have gone through your role, the team, the problem, the decisions that you have made, the iterations, now all it comes down to, what does the final design look like? Visual design is slightly easy to understand for the people. They are able to understand if the solution is working for them or not because it's so visual and they can just comprehend it very easily. If you have used animations or micro animations or some sort of interaction in your design, do share the examples in your case study. It just makes your case. For example, in case of Uber, if you have created the design where you are pointing people to move to a certain direction, instead if you can show it with pointing arrows which is animating, if you can show that, it will just make your case. And since motion stands out, it will even stand out in your case study. And when I'm looking at it, it is easy for me to understand the solution as well. Seventh and the last one is the result. It's all about the outcomes that you have created, the learnings you have had, or any sort of conclusion that you want to give for the entire project. To mention about what did you learn from the project and what kind of impact did you have on users' life. Did you make a difference in their life? Did you solve some problem for them? Let's take an example of the Uber's pickup problem that we have been discussing. Did it reduce the cancellation? Did it reduce the wait time for the drivers? Or did it reduce the customer queries that Uber has been getting? And if yes, by how much? And you want to rely on the data because data doesn't lie and you can show the impact very clearly. Because in the end, designing is problem solving. This is all you need to cover to make your case study a winning one. If you're facing any challenges with your case study or portfolio or anything about job application process, do mention it in the comments. We'll try to answer all of them and probably make a video about it in the future. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, happy designing.